for Common Man. Common man, challenge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by two bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's opted to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, unreal pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot. Hooty-hoo! Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
We're the state of hockey, and I think that proves it, so.
You say? I was going to say, you doubted us, but now we're here. Let's play. Let's play. Let's play. Let's play. Let's play.
Tuesday night.
Wow, what a great how to pick up chicks at the Rube Chat Party mind.
I can't take this anymore.
Diseased. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about...
Is wearing women's underwear part of your turn-on?
Yeah, baby.
You like that? You like that?
Quite frankly, I don't.
Good morning!
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
I like the new carpet. We've had a renovation project going on here for what seems like years, but I think it's just been a few weeks. Brand new carpet. Looks just gorgeous, but they've removed all sorts of items. Where's my chair? You familiar with the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears?
Just read it the other night, Ingrid.
All right, did you?
Yeah.
So then you know about this chair is too, she doesn't like the chair. She doesn't like the porch. Porch too cold, too hot. This one's just right.
The bed.
Yeah, the bed. And what was with the chair? Was the chair was it too big, too small? Or I don't remember what.
Yeah, the porch is too hot, too cold.
Right.
I think the chair is too big, too small, and then the bed was too high, too low.
Okay, this chair doesn't have...
And by the way, Mama Bear and Papa Bear don't sleep in the same bed.
Well...
That's a little... There's some questions going on there that I'd like to dive into further.
Neither do Fred and Wilma Flintstone. Nor did Mary Tyler Moore and Dick Van Dyke in the television series from the Boomer days called The Dick Van Dyke Show. They did not sleep in the same bed. They had separate beds with a nightstand. And they had children, or they had a boy, Richie. I don't know how that happened. Pretty far apart, I guess I could guess. But that's for, I'll leave that to the power trip. Yoga pants, breasts. Every time I think of the power trip, I laugh out loud. I don't know about you. They're just so funny. We had we had two chairs here. I think PA prefers this one. This one has got the kind of almost square armrests. I like the ones that are more oval and soft. I don't like this chair. I'm not. How can I perform at my best? How can I be How can I be hip now with it while if I'm in this chair? I don't let the and then who took my Lysol wipes? I don't know where PA's been.
Well, there's someone here.
Are there?
Yeah.
With a yellow container?
Clorox.
Yeah, yellow?
It's blue. It's Clorox.
Oh, okay, it's a different one, but still.
Disinfecting wipes.
Yeah, I can use that, but where are you? So I can say, how long until this carpet is just trashed? Till it looks like your first batch?
3 days.
Yeah, it's probably not going to. I don't know if I want to. Has anybody spilled on it yet? Is what I'm wondering. Because I think it's been here. Do you know when they did this? Was it probably last night?
Just yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't here yesterday.
It was during the day yesterday.
Oh, it was during the day. Were they working on it while you were in here?
So the room you're in, obviously we had Gopher Basketball Weekly with Nico Medved. So they were in there from noon to 1.
Ooh.
It started to carry over into when the Tenna Fitzgerald had to start at 1. So I actually did the first segment in my current room that I'm at behind Brett Blakemore.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How did that go? Was it rough sailing?
It was fine. I mean, it was a little... The headphone, just because you're talking about the chair, for me, the headphones sounded way different. That was a little challenging. And then, the guy I'm talking to is like looking the other way. Yeah.
Sort of like what you do when I'm on the air, looking the other way, looking at the TV, looking at your computer screen. It
was a lot easier for him to like roll his eyes because I was behind him. So I couldn't see him rolling his eyes. I'm thinking, how am I in this spot?
Yeah.
Producing Tenna Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Well, Maury Amsterdam guy at exactly 1:01, I think, texted me, everything you built, gone. Then, Deuce, I told about the joke that Maury Amsterdam guys, about a minute after that, dude, think about Deuce taking cheap shots at you. The kid's got the nerve, but he texted everything you've built.
We'll see if he's back on in the fall then. How about that? We'll see if he comes back in program password again.
I just love it, though. Both within a minute of each other said, everything you built. Gone in just moments. Painstakingly, I spent 30 plus years building this property, building this radio show up, and then just within minutes, it all just crashed upon the rocks of Lake Inferior. Well, I'm glad you were in for me. I did the colonoscopy, and I'm open about it because I have no secrets. Well, I have a couple. I got a few skeletons in the closets, but I'll keep those to myself. But because I do think it's important to get a colonoscopy. So here's what I don't know, though. This is my third. 2015, 2020, and 2026. I got a little bit behind. Get it? Got a little bit behind. The first time, I think he said they found...
sounds like you put your appointment on the back burner.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I can tell you is they located my head, so that was good. That's where it's been. My wife told me that's where it's been for decades. So they located my head. The first one, they said they found one polyp. They're looking for polyps that could become cancerous, right? The second one was 3. You know how many I had yesterday? 6, 7. I had 8. Yeah, so I'm a polyp creator. And he said, I don't see anything that alarms me, but they still send them off for the biopsy. Now, what you hope is you don't hear anything within 2 weeks. Because if you hear something before 2 weeks, it's because they're concerned. And then it's like, I don't know. I mean, if you catch it early, I guess you can survive. But, colon cancer, colon doesn't run in my family. No one that I know of has ever had it. That doesn't mean you're immune from it, but your chances are better. But here's the other thing. I weighed myself before I started the colonoscopy preparation, right?
Yeah.
Where you
clear everything out.
Well, but even before that, you stop eating the day before.
Yes.
Completely nothing in here. So I fasted for 40 hours. Then you clear yourself out. I'm not making this up. It was 3.8 pounds of junk, water weight, and human excrement, and all of that. It's amazing how much flushes out of your system, man. And so we'll see if I got a clean bill of health. I just know I've got, and then
boxers should be doing that before they get their weigh-ins.
Well, leaves you a little weak. And then I did cramp up too because I wasn't drinking enough water. So the night of what night was that? Must have been Sunday night. This was before I even started guzzling the junk. I got a cramp in my leg so bad. You ever get a cramp and then when you ever get a cramp in your leg so bad, like up in your thigh?
Hamstring, yeah.
Your hamstring?
Oh, yeah.
And you can't get rid of it.
No.
It's just, and it's It is.
You can't move.
It's one of the most excruciating. Now, again, I've never had my arm ripped off, so I bet that would be more excruciating than just getting a muscle cramp. But man, that muscle cramp stuff is excruciating. But I was able to fight through it because I'm a tough guy. I'm built different. I was born in Detroit. You can't get a much tougher town than Detroit. And then I grew up in the ABC cities of Anoka, Blaine, Coon Rapids. So I got a little bit of resistance, a little bit of perseverance, but I'm just glad I got in, got out. He got in and got out with the little camera. And then I will say this. They always say you must have a driver. And if we don't see your driver, we cancel you. And then they make you give your driver's phone number to them. They're going to call you to make sure that you're not going to go out yourself. And I've always said, look, Skip Barber, Haight-Ashbury days, I got no issues. But I was feeling pretty loopy when I came on. And then I found out they put a little tiny bit of fentanyl in it, which isn't that dangerous? One that's killing people? Because if you have you just need trace amounts of I think it was fentanyl. Am I wrong? Is that what they put in? They put in my, because they sedated me. I didn't fall completely asleep this time. I did the first 2 times. I was awake during the entire procedure. I watched the little camera. It's cool. Look good inside too, nice and clean. But I felt okay. It was fentanyl and a couple of other things. They gave me some kind of a cocktail of some sort. Cocktail that I felt like I was tripping the light fandango is what I felt like. And
most importantly, what was your first meal after you'd starved yourself for 2 days?
I had a couple of pieces that my wife did the old, you should have something easy on your stomach. So I did that. And then you know what I did up for dinner? Cheat day. Devani! Yeah, it's a pizza! So I had pizza, now I'm back to my...
You've gained that 3.8 pounds back?
Well, close to it. But now I'm back to my maintenance diet. I'm going to have chicken today, just plain chicken without any skin on it. And I'm going to have some vegetables and some berries, and I'm just feeling good about myself. There's plenty to get to. And we'll do that on the other side of the break. We'll start with Peek at the Purple. It's the Common Man program along with Tennessee, right? Oh, don't forget, Rock Talk at 1:15, which includes Rock Rank and the legendary one, Mark Rose, and just before 2, right here on The Fan.
Clap.
KFAN celebrates our $5,000 teacher winners in iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher. It's powered by Donors Choose. There's still time to nominate a public school teacher making a difference. They could be next to win $5,000 to make over their classroom. Do it now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This isn't the same chair that used to be in here. I took this from the old Score 690.
Yeah.
But I do like this one better than this other one. It's trash. So I took one from in there. There's still a chair in there.
So I feel like the one you're wearing now is not wearing, but using now is going to be worse on your back.
Well, I never lean back on it.
Yeah.
Or do you think I really like this a lot. This seems, I feel like Goldilocks. This one's just right.
Just right.
Yeah, this one feels really good. So we'll see how long it lasts here. Thanks for the Clorox wipes. PA's in the other side. He looks like he might have something. I don't know what it is. Well, he's got Avatar. I know that. Aggravated Vikings Anticipatory Traumatic Abandonment Reactions Syndrome, which brings me to Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. You know them. Minnesota winters can be tough on your home's electrical system. Lights flickering, breakers tripping. Wow, man. And your panel's outdated. It may be time for an inspection before the storm season begins. Affordable Electric helps Twin Cities homeowners with panel upgrades, surge protection, and electrical repairs. Don't wait for those spring storms. Get ahead of the game. Affordable Electric. Call or text 612-331-VOLT or visit affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Really It's just kind of, I love when does the tampering end? Did it end at noon? Did it end at noon?
3, I believe.
3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock the tampering ends. I kind of like the legal tampering period. It's weird they call it that, legal tampering. It's like tampering is never legal. It's just not. It's like what do they call that? There's a word for it. It's a contradictory. That's not the word I was looking for, but it's contradictory, the term, because you can't legally tamper. There's no tampering that can be legally done, but that's what they call it in the National Football League, and they'll do whatever they want in the National Football League. So, but we don't do any tampering. We signed one defensive back who's eyed. Have we made any other moves?
Our own guys.
Well, our own guys, yeah. But, that's kind of, okay, that's great. And this is where you and I part ways a little bit. I like Naylor a little bit better than you are. I don't know. I'm with you, though. I don't know if I'd given him the kind of money that, was it the Radiators signed him? Is the Radiator signed Naylor?
Yes.
I don't know if I would have given Naylor the kind of money the Radiators did, but I kind of liked him. I think he was a player that seemed to be, I think he's on the rise, but, how far does he rise? I don't know if he's ever an 80 game, 70, 80 catch a season guy, but I like that. I just liked it. Seemed like he's a good blocker, did a lot of the dirty work. I think, did I read he only dropped one ball last year? You like sure-handed, and that probably because when I played, I wasn't a slot receiver. Like, I think if I would have had a single-digit number, I would have been a slot receiver instead of a precise route running, sure-handed, pass-catching tight end, because I'd have looked faster. But I think I wore like 86, I think, when I was in Coon Rapids Athletic Association, so I was a tight end, And so I don't like the fact that we don't do anything. There's really nothing out there. We're still waiting now. More will happen after. Then players will be released, and then you can still make trades. We're still wondering what the Vikings are going to do quarterback-wise. I did see, was it Pelissero? You sent me a tweet he sent out saying Vikings are willing to take offers on Greenard.
Yes.
We've talked about Greenard, that, solid player, but I think he wants a raise. He wants more money, or he's scheduled to make more money, or make a bunch of money, one or the other. And he's a prime candidate to be released by the Purple. And then that becomes the conundrum. It's like, well, if they know you're going to release them, it's sort of like what happened here with, there are people that think what the Ravens did was a little underhanded.
Yes.
They decided to trade for Max Crosby. Traded 2 first-round picks.
Yep.
Now they say, he didn't pass our physical. We're pulling out of the trade, and you legally can, because you can't make any moves until 3 o'clock today. You can come to agreement with people, with teams and players and free agents, but nothing becomes...
Well, but I mean, the 3 o'clock deadline was for free agency. This was a trade, but the trade is never finalized until the physical.
Yeah, right.
So,
I guess that's what I meant on that. I'm sorry, I'm getting the two confused, but that's correct. Until there's a physical. Takes the physical, they say he fails our physical, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, they make an offer for Trey Hendrickson, who's maybe considered he's a top 10 edge rusher for sure, maybe top 5, right? And he signs as a free agent, right?
Yeah.
So
similar contract.
No players.
And they don't have to give up the first 2 first rounders.
No players exchange, no draft picks. You just get the guy. And there are those that think there's some fishy business going on. Yeah. And that there should be an investigation. Investigate what? They did nothing wrong. You can say they maybe gamed the system a little bit, he did come off knee surgery. And if you're the Ravens, what I don't know, and maybe you've heard, after they agreed and, how did they, because Hendrickson, did he not get any other offers or nothing, because he was a free agent, right?
Yes.
Did he not get any other offers?
I'm sure he was getting plenty of offers.
But so he waited around a while.
Yeah. He's waiting for the best offer.
Yeah. But could he have waited until 3 today? Because maybe another better offer would have come over. That's what I don't know. But I just don't think there's anything I don't think there's anything you can say, like, morally, even though there's no really morals involved. But you know what I'm saying? But I don't see why everybody's
They didn't break any rules.
No, they didn't break any rules.
But it's kind of like an unwritten rule, right? Like, because now you put Vegas in an awful spot, too, because Vegas has made all these moves, assuming Crosby's not on the roster. And now, as of right now, Crosby's back on the roster. You have their salary cap implications. You constructed your roster accordingly. So I do think there's going to be teams that are going to be hesitant to trade with Baltimore in the future, knowing what they just did.
Yeah.
But, do they deserve to be fined or lose draft picks out of it? No.
No, I don't think so either. And that's too bad for the Radiators.
But the reputation takes a hit.
Now, the Radiators, answer me this question. Crosby doesn't want to play for the Radiators, right? That's the reason they've been trying to trade him, right? Because he does not want to. He wanted out.
He wants to get out.
Does he want out because it's a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans and a terrible stadium? Is that? I mean, he's getting paid a boatload of money. I know the Raiders have been bad, but it seems as though they're going to get the young quarterback, right? The kid from Indiana. Now, he might be the next McCarthy. I don't know. He could be the next Caleb Williams or somewhere in between. And I think they've made some other moves as well. Didn't they get the center? No, who got the center? 81. Did I see that right? The Ravens center signed elsewhere. He's making, the money he is making is just astonishing. For the guy's name is Linderbaum.
Yeah, Tyler Linderbaum.
Linderbaum. He signed for. I got the number right here.
What's the Raiders?
3-year, $81 million.
Yeah.
Here's what it says in The Athletic. 3-time Pro Bowl center Tyler Linderbaum on Monday agreed to a 3-year free agent deal with Vegas worth $81 million that includes $60 million in guarantees. He was ranked number 5 among The Athletic's top 150 free agents, top center and offensive linemen available. Where did I see where? He just completely changes. The Lions signed this kid from, was it the Panthers? For like a fraction of that, and that was considered a lot of money. The new bar has been set for what centers are supposed to get. But teams get desperate for. Everybody realizes they're starting to figure it out now that you win in the trenches, and they're trying to get the best players they possibly can. So let's do this. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Get ready for spring if you have electrical needs. Reach out, affordable-electric.com. A little Distat Lat and more controversial Vikings news. Other side of the break, Common Man program on the Fan.
Catch every tournament upset and every highlight with KFAN at Hop House. Join Justin Garden, Meat Sauce, Max, Parker, and Halvey for Bracket Bash watch parties on March 19th and 20th to catch college hoops on the big screens and prizes flowing all day, including 65-inch TVs. Get all the details today at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
I like bracket busting watch parties, don't you?
I do.
It'd be nice to be invited, given that opportunity.
I actually was, but I'm going to be gone. So.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't. Nobody asked me.
You're known for wanting to do appearances with all the rubes.
I just did one about a month ago. Had no problem. Loved it. Verbally slapped people on the back. We were over at Party Time. Over at
Lake Elmo?
Lake Elmo.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loved doing appearances. I was the first to do appearances. Everything that anybody's doing now, I did back in the 90s. So I've done it all, and I'm willing to do it again. I guess I just got a bad reputation, and I don't know why I can't shake it. But I'll tell you one thing. It was business as usual at the slot machine last night. Another laugher. Everybody got in on the fun, too. Everybody got in on the act. Tend to be your guy.
Kaprizov.
Boldy, Urov, Hartman, and the new guy, Brink. If you, from the Stanley Cup, you want to drink, you have to sign Brink. It's 5-0, a shutout, another laugher as a team just continues to win games. And, they lose a few here and there. You're bound to do that, but they continue to win games. Another solid performance, it sounds like, from top to bottom as we approach playoff time. We're under 20 regular season games, are we not?
I believe that's correct.
I mean, I think you're paying closer attention to the Wild than I.
I need you to tap dance for like 30 seconds, yeah.
Okay. 5 goal scorers last night. The Woolies. And the Woolies are a fairly good team from what I understand. So it's not as though we're beating the dregs of the National Hockey League. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, well, it actually didn't happen the other side of town. It was a late game in L.A., let me guess. It was circadian rhythm, time zone changes, jet lag, another putrid performance by the Minnesota Timberwolves. My guess is LeBron must have went off last night, right? With the Wild.
I'm sure he had to have been, yeah.
Yeah, so LeBron I didn't check the box score, but I'm sure LeBron went off.
I always love that one.
You don't beat the Lakers, it's always because, I mean, if LeBron doesn't play, it's almost like what did Jimmy Buckets used to call the Wolves, a skip game? The Lakers are a skip game without LeBron, are they not? So he must have went off last night. And their offense wasn't good, so they decided not to play defense again in the third quarter. It's just, I don't know how anybody can have any faith in that team or enjoy being a fan of that club when they just have no respect for the game or their teammates, ownership, fans. It's sad. Meanwhile, a professional effort by your Minnesota Wild. Do I still need a tap dance or?
Well, I tried to call the coroner's office and he basically hung up on me. So,
what was the issue?
It says right now above me that the fan has dead air. I went to listen to it and it sounds fine, but
yeah,
I think there's a lot of stuff going on with the remodel lately that there is dead air. Things are being weird.
I think we're talking.
So I don't know if the dead air was just on the stream.
I'm telling you, it's not because I just got well, maybe it is just the stream, but somebody texted me to say dead air.
Now it's not flashing anymore.
Yeah, so they could be texting. I don't know.
It stopped, so maybe we're all good.
Okay, maybe we're.
But go ahead. Yeah, what were you going to ask me about the Wild?
Well, just it sounds like it was another fine performance. Everybody got in on the act. We had 5 guys score, including the new guy Brink, the Minnetonka native, and we get a shutout from Gus Bus, and it was like I say, it's business as usual, right?
Pretty complete effort. Going into the game, people were saying, "Well, bad matchup for us." The Utah Mammoth have owned us this season because they have beaten us by scores of 6-2 and 5-2. But we avoided the season sweep last night. Now, we should mention, because if this happened the other way, people like to make this as an excuse. Utah was playing a back-to-back, second half of a back-to-back. They played in overtime the night before in Chicago. So maybe they were a little tuckered. But, I thought the first period was relatively even, and Gus made some saves and kept the team in it. And then as the game went along, the Wild took over. Kaprizov's goal was pretty nice. He got a rebound he got his own rebound off the back, the end wall, and he got tripped right before he went to shoot it. So he fell down to his knees and he scored from his knees. The Boldy was a great 2-on-1 setup from Johansson. Urov probably had the highlight reel goal of the night and his best goal in a Wild uniform. Brink took a really awkward hit into the boards early in the game that actually was penalized on Utah. He went out of the game for a little bit, but came back, and then in front of his home fans, the Minnetonka boy scores in his home debut on a nice upper corner goal. And nice play by Urov to force the turnover on that, and then Hartman a little tap it into an open net at the end. So goaltending was great, as you mentioned. Gustafsson, anytime you're getting a shutout and making 25 saves, he looked great. They've had 2 good goaltending performances in a row. Ballstead looked very good against Colorado the other day, too. So pretty complete effort.
And as I mentioned, the Woolies are not a pushover. They're actually fourth in the division, right?
Yes.
So,
and secondly, tied for fourth best record in the West because the other division, right? Utah is fourth, and they're now, I think, 14, 15 points behind the Wild?
Yes.
But before last night, if they had been in the Pacific Division, they'd be like tied for first place. So,
yeah, they're really, they're 14 points back. I can't add very well. It looks like the Wild have 38 wins, 16 losses, and what is OTL? Overtime?
Overtime or shootout losses.
Okay.
So they have 17 games to go because they played 65.
Okay, 17 games to go. And as we've talked about, they're sort of kind of locked in where they are. It's going to be difficult to move up. I don't think they're, and I thought they were going to, I got greedy. I was overly optimistic thinking they could catch the Lanch, but that seems virtually impossible
that ain't gonna happen.
At this point. And it seems like,
I mean, if you finish the season 17-0,
yeah, you
might be able to catch them. But
and do we have much of a chance to catch?
They mostly don't have a chance to catch Colorado. There's really no shot Utah catches them. So, yes, they could move into the 2 spot, which is still the same matchup, but it's just a difference between who gets home ice advantage. Right now, they're 3 points behind the Stars, but Dallas does have a game in hand. And the Stars, I think, they're like, 12-0-1 in their past 13 games, something like that. So they've been just on fire as well.
Isn't dead air typically associated with noon to 3 asking for a friend? Funny stuff. There's been dead air between noon and 3 for the past 20 years. Huh. Dead air, best you've ever been. LeBron didn't play, and LA also had 2 other big men sitting. What?
Huh?
Well, that makes it even worse. No LeBron. I mean, explain that to me. Well, what does the Fish Wrap Factory West Side have to say about what happened last night? Let's just take a quick little.
Let me guess. 2-hour time zone change, body clocks, and then on top of that, late start. That game started 10:15 p.m. our time.
Both teams began the night by laying bricks, but the Wolves' defense allowed the Lakers to win the third quarter 39-23. Oh, because again,
you've got to be kidding me.
Someone that said LeBron didn't play. LA also had 2 other big men sitting bad offense all game. Unfortunately, it's not the offense, it's the defense. You're allowed to win low-scoring games if your offense isn't working because you can rely on your defense. The team refuses to play defense because it takes effort, and you don't get on ESPN's top 10 at 10. That's why. Do you not realize it? Do people not get this? Why do you want to make the offense wasn't? No, it's like the other night. I got accused of, well, you might want to read a box score comment. We were cold shooting. But then if you heard the quotes, Gobert said, the offense was off, so it affected our defense in the third quarter. In other words, they just say, oh, it ain't working. And so and then they say to themselves, well, it's not worth it to put in the extra effort on defense because we still might lose and the offense isn't going. So we'll just throw this game in the trash can and lose it because we're going to make the playoffs anyways. And people continue to accept that kind of behavior. And I get it. We're going to win the NBA title. Once the playoffs start, we're going to flip that switch and we're going to make a run to the NBA finals and we're going to beat Detroit or whoever it is and we're going to win it all. And then, people will be going, what do you think of your Timberwolves now, Common? I won't think anything different of them other than they really have no respect for the game. Now, I tried to figure out a way to throw a wet blanket on Bam Adebayo.
Adebayo?
How is it? Adebayo?
I don't know. Adebayo?
Adebayo. Bam. He has the second most points in a single game in NBA history after last night. He passed his boyhood hero, Kobe Bryant. Was it 87 points he scored last night? 83. He beat Kobe. The only person that scored
83.
83. The only player to score more in one game in NBA history is Wilt the Stilt. Wilt went off for 100 once. He set the record for the most free throws, and I think he had 43 free throws. And I'm thinking, now that's a hell of an accomplishment to score 83 points and 43 free throws. I don't know how many he made. He made 36 or something like that, 37 points, 37 free throws out of 43. But then you look at the competition. And so I'm sorry, wet blanket. I asked to risk it. It's against the Washington Wizards. Think of this, Tenneby, 16-48. They have 16-48. Give me a T.
T.
Give me an A.
A.
Give me an N.
N.
Give me a K.
K.
What's that spell?
Tank.
They're tanking. You know what their defensive rating is? I checked it. I didn't know until I looked it up. 29. Now, there's only 30 teams in the league. They have the second worst I can't imagine who that other team is and how bad their defense must be. And, Bam still made his shots. How do you foul a guy that many times? It's almost like, I don't know what it's like. I just can't explain.
And he's a quality player.
Yeah, he's a quality player.
But this ain't Shaquille O'Neal here.
No, it's not Kobe Bryant. It's not Luka. Do you want to call him Doncic or Doncic today? Rosen's not here yet. I don't know what name to call him. We'll call him Doncic. He's not Doncic. He's not Steph Curry. Yet he goes off for that many points, and you have to take the competition into, and look, I'll give him, that good for him. He still had to get the biscuit in the basket. He had to twinkle the twine for 2 or 3 or 1 over and over and over again. But how bad must that Washington club be? Now, speaking of records, Tenneby, Kevin Durant held the record for the most points by a freshman in a 3-game span of a conference tournament. Back in college, right? Most points by a freshman in a 3-game span of a conference tournament. It was 92 points. Second was Zion Williamson. Third was Steph Curry. Those 3 names tend to be, there's a kid named Grayson Ullman who plays for North Dakota, who now has the record of 93 points in a 3-game span of a conference tournament. Now, Durant played for, who did he play for? Where did he play his college ball?
Durant?
Was he Texas?
Yes.
Steph played Davidson. Was Davidson. Where did Zion Williamson play? I don't even remember now anymore.
He was Duke, wasn't he?
Okay. So the competition probably a little stiffer than North Dakota, who they're playing, but that's a hell of a record. And forget even the record, because you could say, again, I just said it, Bam sets the record against a terrible team. But just to be able to be a kid and look up and see that your name is above Kevin Durant, Zion Williamson, and Steph Curry. You look at, here's my name. I did something they didn't do, regardless of the competition. So good for him. I mean, I just, I look at that and I just think to myself, man, that's a pinch me. And when I get up,
will the Wilt Chamberlain one ever be broken? 100 points.
If you get to play Washington again, maybe so.
The problem, though, is don't you need a team at least good enough to stay in the game? Right, that's the hardest part about breaking a record like that is, if you're up by 30 points, it's keeping your best player in the game throughout the entire time.
Yeah. But I guess if it looks like he's on a heater, I mean, if it looks like, I don't know, at what point they realize he has a real chance. But
like Anthony Edwards has a good shot at this because the Wolves won't play defense. So they're going to play a team sometime where they're giving up $150, $160, and Anthony's, Ant's going off.
Do you see this World Baseball Classic? Did you pay
I was going to bring that up in 5 questions,
okay.
yeah.
This is a headline from Associated Press. A stunning U.S. loss to Italy leaves World Baseball Classic fate hanging. Dateline Houston, the surprising loss by the United States to Italy in the World Baseball Classic on Tuesday night means that the Americans need help to advance to the quarterfinals. The 8-6 defeat left the team with a 3-1 record at the end of its pool schedule. Mexico and Italy wrap up Pool B play Wednesday night, when a win by the Italians would give the U.S. second place and a spot in the next round. If Mexico wins it, all three teams move to 3-1, 1-1 against each other, and send it to a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is the number of runs allowed in games between the tied teams, so the U.S. could advance even if Mexico wins, if Mexico scores at least 5 runs in a 9-inning game. But there's a realistic chance, and maybe even better than, they might not advance, okay? The best part is U.S. manager. Did you see this part of the story? After the game, U.S. manager Mark DeRosa fielded questions about whether he thought his team had already secured a spot in the quarterfinals with Monday night's win over Mexico because of his comments on a television appearance the next morning. In that interview, he said, "Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win this game even though our tickets punch to the quarterfinals because Mexico plays Italy actually tomorrow. You've got to be kidding me. So the way the schedule lines up, this is an important game for us." So he says, we've already punched our ticket. He's projecting, is that the word I'm looking for? Of what is going to happen. In the interview room, he said he misspoke during that segment. And in a later interview outside the clubhouse, he reiterated that he did not think his team already had clinched a spot. 100%, I misspoke. Well, how do you misspoke? Ton of respect for Italy. It's weird. We want to win this game even though our tickets punch to the quarterfinals because Mexico plays Italy actually tomorrow. That doesn't sound like you're misspeaking. How can that be interpreted as misspeaking? He said our ticket is punched. He just knows how bad it looks. He's going to be.
Well, yeah.
It's just that.
No one can accept responsibility anymore and just admit.
Yeah. You thought it was a gimme. You thought it was a given that Mexico was going to beat Italy. And then when they didn't, you realized your ticket hadn't been punched. And the United States took a gut punch is what they did. So it's just in.
That's not good when your manager doesn't know.
No.
The ramifications.
Tickets punched. We got our tickets punched already. But it's still an important game for us.
The team apparently played that way.
Yeah, apparently they did. So there you go. Let's do this. We'll pause. 534 on the side of the break. Rock Talk with plenty to get to on Rock Talk with the Grum Reaper. A couple of rock star deaths, and then we've got the Oscars coming up, and they will have the original song of the for 2026 out of a movie, the Oscar for that. So we have that and a couple of other items I want to get to, and of course we'll have Rock Rank, and then the legendary one, Mark Rosen, about 2:00. All of that and more here on the Common Man program on the Fan. Tennessee, you got a tease for us?
Will we finally get a new quarterback today?